name is Kevin Horn and I'm a proud supporter of the Royal Humane Society. The Society has been recognising bravery for 250 years and is marking the occasion by sharing just some of the thousands of remarkable stories from across the centuries. My story is from 1849, and for the purposes of context, this is the year when the safety pin and the gas mask were invented, and the first groups of gold prospectors arrived in California, giving them the nickname the 49ers. So here is a story from the archive of that year in the language of the day. On the 20th of April 1849 at 3 o'clock AM, an English merchant vessel called the Thistle of Whitty was driven ashore at low water. The sea at the time was raging furiously, and as the tide rose, the vessel was lifted and thumped alternately upon the sandbanks, reeling to and fro. This was threatening destruction every moment to the unhappy crew. The master's last act before quitting the deck was to fire off a musket twice as a signal of distress, and was about to fire for the third time when a heavy sea broke over the ship and nearly carried him away. He then fled to the fore rigging to join his men who had already sought shelter, or rather prolongation of life, in the shrouds. They remained for 8 hours in the fore rigging, little thinking, as was afterwards discovered, that the foremast was sprung, and after this lapse of time passed in the most intense anxiety and suffering, during which some hundreds of the villagers and peasants of the surrounding neighbourhood had gradually collected, each feeling within himself his sad inefficiency to render the least assistance. Every moment they were expecting to see their fellow creatures rudely thrust from their hold and plunged into eternity. At this awful moment there appeared that from among the crowd a youth of the name of Eugene Gerard, who at the early age of 18 had already been buffeted about by the winds and the waves. This youth, more intrepid than the rest, seeing the impossibility of approaching the ship with boats, boldly went forward, and at the most imminent risk of his own life, notwithstanding the entreaties of his father to return, dashed into the sea. And after having been 3 times overturned by the violence of the waves, succeeded in forming a communication between the ship and the shore by means of ropes, and thus, by his daring courage and humane exertions, saved the master and the wretched suffering crew from a watery grave. This is just one of thousands of stories, and there is one way that you can get involved. The Society is encouraging people to become one of their governors. For just £100 in 2024, you will be invited to attend a variety of Society events, such as their annual General Court, where you will see the awardees receive their medals and hear their amazing stories. You'll also get a 250th anniversary certificate and an invitation to the special celebration at St Paul's Cathedral in September. If you'd like to find out more about the Society and their work, do please visit their website and support them however you can in their 250th year. Thank you for taking the time to listen today.